starting off Stray Pop here at KXLU Los Angeles, 88.9 FM. And also, the signal's a little shaky for you. Going outside of the Los Angeles area, we do stream our signal live online at kxlu.com. And yes, I do have an in-studio guest tonight. Sammy Serious.
Sammy Serious.
From the Zeros are here. Gearing up for a Zeros show. The purple-haired Zeros, by the way.
Purple-haired Zeros. This is the purple generation of the Zeros. And,
how many bands?
Oh, boy.
Well, there's the punk rock Zeros, so they're the black-haired Zeros from Los Angeles.
The punk rock Zeros?
Yeah.
Oh, the guys from L.A.
Yeah. They have black hair. Or when they started playing gigs again, like a couple of years ago, and I was out of town. I was in Buffalo, New York, and I was reading all these things online about like people going to see the Zeros, and I said, which ones? The purple-haired ones or the black-haired ones? And they said, more like the gray-haired ones now. But they're because the purple-haired Zeros are from...
That's right. From Los Angeles. Well, really,
somebody told me San Francisco, and I'm going, what?
Nah, we came from New Jersey.
Oh, he's thinking, okay, you tell your story.
All right.
He knows about the other guys.
Whatever story this one is. But there was 3 guys who came from New Jersey, and we picked up, there was 4 guys, actually. And one guy didn't want to come out to Los Angeles, and we came out here with another guy. He wanted to be an actor, actually, and... he came out here. His name was Frank, and we played some shows and stuff, and then started playing around, started getting a following, and it started catching on, and then started becoming popular, and we kind of sort of stationed ourselves in Los Angeles after that.
And so it's all copacetic between you and...
What, the members? No, I had a big fight with them on the internet today.
No, I mean the other. No, the other. The punk rock Zeros.
Oh, those
over
guys.
the names.
Well, listen,
because everyone's been, been putting out their stuff
really
and doing names.
Kind of like a weird kind of situation because we had an album, and these guys were out in '77, and they came around and they were playing around, I guess, and they broke up. And we didn't know about them, really. It was kind of like, we were kind of hearing little, things from the scene that were happening from people. Oh, yeah, there was this band called the Zeros a long time ago, and I said, oh, that's cool. And because we were called the 000s. We weren't called the Zeros. We did the Howard Stern theme song, and we were the 000s, and then we came out here. And then we were the Zeros because people started calling us the Zeros. So wherever we went, we were the Zeros because they took the 00. It was like the Rolling Stones. They took the rolling out of the Stones and just called them the Stones. So it was like sort of like that kind of situation. And then we started playing around, and little by little, people came up to us just like you. Oh, the Zeros. And we said, oh, well, where are they? Oh, well, they're broken up and they're not playing around anymore. So I said, well, how long are they broken up for? Oh, over just 15 years now that went by.
Well, yeah, time flies.
Yeah, it does. So they never said nothing to us or anything, or no one ever came to us and said, you're calling yourselves the Zeros and don't do this, Then we came out with our album, 92, I think. It was 91. Oh, 91. Yeah, we came out with 4, 3, 2, 1, which I want to play a couple of cuts off of tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So we did the album, and they started resurfacing and got back together, and we did some research on it, and then found out that they said we could use the name, and they didn't have a problem with it. And Elvez said he was the guy. There was a guy Elvez in the band, and
Robert Lopez.
Yeah. Is that who it is? They call him Elvez.
Yeah.
We saw these guys in the club, so it wasn't like they knew we were playing as the Zeros and everything like that. So Elvez was doing the Elvez thing, and I think we asked them. I said, "What's the story?" Oh, don't worry about it. We're not doing that band anymore. And I said, "Okay, well, that's cool. We're gonna do it. We're releasing our album, and hope there ain't no problem." And they resurfaced when after we did the album. So, and it got kind of sticky because it started confusion, and we just decided that or they decided that they were going to call themselves the 077 to distinguish the two names.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. And then we were the Zeros. They were the Zeros from '77, and they did their ads and stuff like that. And
It's
it's like it's a name, and I think one band should have it, but it's almost like the Zeros. There's a story behind it to where it makes sense to where they are the Zeros from '77.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. That's really the story about it. What do you think?
You got to watch out for those punk rockers.
Oh yeah, are they after me?
No, they never go away. They keep resurging.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, listen, we're not out to take anybody's name or do anything like that. It was so deep already that it was like we couldn't really say, okay, we're going to redo our name or do it a different name. So that's why we kind of agreed to where it was. They were the 77 Zeros and we were the Zeros.
Sure, you didn't. Sure, there isn't a band in San Francisco called the Zeros. Maybe
I thought they were from San Francisco.
No, they're from
There's
here.
so many bands called the Zeros right now.
I know.
I mean, I look on the internet, I see like 8 bands called the Zeros. One like in Kansas City, which is like a cover band. And there's a couple other bands from England. And, will the real Zeros please stand up? Will the real Zeros please have purple hair? I don't know what the deal is, But everybody loves that name. When we had that name, the 00 Zeros, first of all, it was like... when we had that name, it's like, what are you, a loser? People used to call us like, why would you want a name like that? Nobody ever wanted this name. So it was like kind of weird that all these bands have it now.
Well, and they're all playing.
They're all playing now.
They're all playing shows, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you put out a Zeros CD recently. At first I thought it was a Sammy Sirius CD, and then I looked at it. I said, wait a second, it says the Zeros on the spine.
Right. Yeah, that's the Zeros.
Okay.
I wrote the songs to the Zeros, and I put this album together because it turned into a really kind of sticky situation because of the fact with the guys on the 4321 album, which was the lineup that we painted the whiskey purple, and we did a bunch of newsworthy events in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. We were talking, we were going back and forth, do the Zeros, don't do the Zeros, you want to do the Zeros, let's try the Zeros, let's do this. And I wanted to do the Zeros, and I, talked to them about it. We just couldn't get our, agreements together to where it would, work out. I wanted to do a new record, and they said, let's release some old stuff or something. I go, but they weren't into like doing the band.
So they're all around here still?
Well, that's what. Kind of, yeah, they are. So, and they're all playing music. So it's like when I ask, it isn't like these guys dropped out of the music scene and don't want to do it or whatever. But when I asked them about the Zeros, it seemed like they didn't take any interest in it, and we were trying to go back and forth on some negotiating points, and it got sticky. And the thing was, this was kind of the album that I was going to put together for the Zeros, and I did. So, but they're not on it.
So who played on it?
I did.
And then who's playing so you're playing the whiskey.
I'm playing the whiskey with the new Zeros, which is a new band, which we're in celebration of the band, the Zeros with purple hair as the Purple Generation. It comes into the whole play. It's been 20 years since we played the whiskey. Not 20 years since we played the whiskey, but 20 years since of this heyday of the whiskey.
Since you've been on the Sunset Strip.
No. We've been on. We did a show before at the whiskey too. We did a show with we had some members of the old lineup, and that's what decided to make it a kind of like, let's keep this thing going, because we did a show at the whiskey, and it was the lineup of the 1991 Zeros, which was me, Danny Dangerous, Joe Normal, Mr. Insane. Mm-hmm. So the thing is that we had this lineup, and we played the whiskey, and we had this heyday on the Sunset Strip where we took the whiskey and they painted it purple in honor of the Zeros. It was really a big
The whiskey too.
The whiskey too. It was a really
I remember
cool
the
thing.
coconut teaser. That was
Coconut teaser too. It came to the point where we were going to paint the pavement purple, sparkly purple, but it didn't get to that point yet. But we did that, and the what happened was this is kind of like the situation where it all fuses together with that era, the Zeros. So